What up, nerds? This is your Supreme Leader, and today I'm going to talk about why Star Wars isn't dead and why a lot of people need to stop saying that Star Wars is dead. I'm going to go dive a little deep into why I think Star Wars is more alive than ever. And if along the line there is something that you may disagree with me, I respect that. This is just my opinion, and I'm just calling it how it is, plain and simple. Now, let's get started, shall we? Alright, so where do I begin? You could pretty much say Star Wars began to die as soon as George Lucas signed and sold Star Wars to Disney. And everybody thought that, hey, we were going to see Disney take Star Wars to a new level. We're going to be seeing things we have never seen before. And I have to admit, they have. They took it to a new direction, and I digged it. I was in. Just like the millions and millions of Star Wars fans, they were in as well. But unfortunately, there was a few out of the bunch who weren't really liking the direction Disney was taking Star Wars, which I respect that. But the thing is that that's where the problems begin. For instance, they have canceled lots of projects that George Lucas couldn't finish, and they didn't want to go back to finish those projects. For instance, there were video games that they were going to release, but they have never really have finished. 1313 is an example, and various projects that were never really finished because Disney said, you know what, just cancel it. But anyway, there was a plan, and that's when the sequel trilogy was planned out to be made. When The Force Awakens came out, we were all hooked. We were invested. We were interested and wanted to see the next chapter in Star Wars. Everything was good. That is until The Last Jedi came out, and that's where mostly the problems with the fandom started, and that's pretty much where the community divided in half. I know it sounds hard when I say that, but I believe the community was divided in half as soon as The Last Jedi dropped. It shouldn't have to be divided to begin with, but it did. Because apparently it has social justice warriors and it has political ideas, even though in Star Wars there is evidence conveying that there is already political ideas and diversity, just to name a few. And if you don't believe it, you can go ahead and go back and watch the Clone Wars. There's a lot of episodes including these ideas. For instance, it includes human trafficking, slavery, espionage, spying, even capitalism too, commercial trading. There's so many themes which reflect to the real world, and there's a lot of political messages that are included, but many people miss it. And as a result, a lot of people didn't like seeing that in Star Wars. And then the controversy came, and then the hating, the negativity started coming into the fandom, and then Disney, Kathleen Kennedy, all that mumbo jumbo, and then kaboom, the division between the fandoms started. And from there, things were never the same again. It is still as bad as it is now, unfortunately. And now there's a lot of people that started the fandom menace, and you had creators online starting to speak about how terrible Star Wars is, like Geeks and Gamers, Doomcock, World Class Bullshitters, just to name a few. They start coming out with the negativity and saying that nope, Star Wars can't be good. It's all Disney's fault. Disney's this, Disney that, actors this, actor that. It was just a lot of drama and a lot of facts that made people wake up and realize that Hollywood and Disney and many companies like them shouldn't be trusted anymore, and we gotta be hating it 24/7, non-stop, at all times. Boycott Disney. That was their motto. But the funny thing about it is that if they really love Star Wars, why do they continue talking about it? Why do they do it? Why does the fandom menace continue to make videos about Disney Star Wars if they hate it so much? I could tell you why. And if I trigger any one of these creators, then maybe there's some truth in what I'm saying. Number one, money. Number two, viewership. And number three, gatekeeping. And finally, number four, and here's the big one, guys, continue to talk about the same old thing every single day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, about how terrible Star Wars is, how the actors are, and what Twitter. Dude, it's getting fucking old. They're living in the past. They think it's 2017. It's time to move on. And the problem with the Butthurt Menace is that these guys can move on, and vast majority of the fans can move on as well. And they're really taking it in, which is really bad for them because it's negative. Where's the positivity? I wish I had that amount of followers so I can talk about how good Star Wars is. For instance, if I didn't like the sequel trilogy, I would talk about how good episodes 1 through 6 are instead of talking about what Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver said on Twitter. Who the hell cares about Twitter? I don't care about Twitter. It's pointless. Or maybe I could talk about the time I fell in love with Star Wars for the first time. Maybe I could talk about the items that I have in my room, like my action figures, my collectibles, the posters that I have. I could tell stories about that. Maybe play the video games or read out the book to my audience, Do some positive videos about me liking Star Wars so we can all, chill, vibe. But what do these guys do instead? They bitch and complain on the internet instead of moving forward. Common sense 101. If there's something I don't like, uninstall, move forward, talk about something else. Life goes on. So simple, but these guys like to torture themselves to death by watching things they don't like, and that's part of the problem as well. Why they killed what used to be fun, now it has to be, daily doses of drama about in Lucasfilms. Kathleen Kennedy ate a hamburger with Dave Filoni discussing Season 4 of The Mandalorian, including Daisy Ridley, or how they're adding new women lead into these new upcoming Star Wars project, or how Ahsoka is going to be bad. Blah, 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 blah. It's the same old shit, and it's just gonna get old eventually. And you know what? I'm so happy I woke up and I left that fandom, because honestly, you have no idea how damn good it feels to be free and open-minded. It's kind of like how Neo freed himself from the Matrix. I'm flying free where no one can judge me, because now I could just think whatever I want, when I want, how I want, and love Star Wars like it's 2004, baby. Oh yeah. And one day Star Wars fans are going to wake up and realize how pathetic they truly sound and are going to love Star Wars again. And all that negativity and hatred they have, now it's going to turn into positivity and good, and they're gonna go back and enjoy Star Wars how we used to, whether they like Disney Star Wars, the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, the spin-offs, just the TV shows on Disney Plus. Maybe they like the expanded universe, maybe they like the video games, maybe they like all of the trilogies, maybe they only like Rebels, maybe they just like Resistance, maybe they just like reading the Star Wars comics and the books. But the point is that they'll enjoy what they're doing, and then they'll be happy again. That's how Star Wars should be. The thing is that since when do we need approval from Disney for us to not make Star Wars loved again? We can. Look at Star Wars Theories. He loves Star Wars to a passion, and he's making short Star Wars films. I watched the first Vader episode, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and watch the second episode of Vader. There are a lot of short films on YouTube of passionate Star Wars fans who really love Star Wars and their characters. Heck, and I've seen the Comic-Con videos too as well, where I see a lot of people dressed up as Star Wars characters as well, and I could see that there is a lot of love, passion, and effort in trying to make their cosplays look good. That means these guys are Star Wars fans and they love it. And when I see the Star Wars celebrations happening in Anaheim, and I see all those fans there, oh, is Star Wars dead? Oh yeah, Star Wars is done. Oh yeah, right, bitch. Look, there's like at least more than thousands of people in attendance. Oh yeah, Star Wars is dead. No. The point where I'm going is this, my friends. Star Wars cannot be truly dead. It is only going to be alive and strong. And I'm sick and tired of some Star Wars fans saying that Star Wars is dead, Star Wars is this, Star Wars is... No, it's not dead. It's alive. It's dead because you want it to be dead. I at one point thought Star Wars was done for. And you know what I did? I let all that negativity and hatred that I had inside my heart and let it go. And I now see things in a different perspective now because of that positivity. You will see that if you go back and relive all those memories that you had with Star Wars, you're going to see what I'm talking about. But you have to understand that, and that's the problem, though. And I know it's like maybe if it's like half of the community that doesn't understand that, one day they will. One day they'll break free, and then when they understand it, they're going to be like, wow, I feel good. You know, hell, I don't care if I don't like the sequel trilogy. I'll still go back and watch Revenge of the Sith, watch Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace, watch the OGs. That's it. Or heck, if you like just the Clone Wars or the prequel trilogy, you could do that too. You could do whatever you want. The possibilities are limitless. And somewhere in that line, you'll also learn to value and respect others for their opinions in Star Wars. Even though you guys don't meet eye to eye, the love and respect should still be there. You know? No matter what it is you guys are talking about, you know, it should be there. There would be more civil discussions instead of, you know, yelling at each other and being toxic and negative. And believe me when I say this, my friends, Star Wars can be good, but it also can be bad as well, which is understandable too. But going to blame Disney, the actors, the writers, the directors, Kathleen Kennedy, which is like the biggest excuse right there, or even the fans themselves, isn't going to really make you feel good at the end. On the contrary, it's only going to build up all that negative and hatred you have towards something you didn't like. If there's something you didn't like, just don't watch it and just move on and let other people enjoy it. And what's funny is that people can't really enjoy Star Wars. You know, everyone should enjoy Star Wars. I want everyone to enjoy Star Wars again. But the thing is that there are people who talk and will tell others like, hey, don't watch the series and just watch what I say and rely on me only. They don't even give them the opportunity to think for themselves and actually be like, hey, go watch it for yourselves and then we'll have a conversation about it. No. There's one creator I'm thinking about right now who I'm about to show you, who is an example of why you should give something a shot rather than going on what another person is saying. Because at the end, remember, my friends, it's your opinion that matters. So here he is, my friends, and it's just to prove my point.
The same old bullshit, second verse, same as the first. I urge you folks to hold off on watching this trash at least until you see my review. If this interview is misleading, I'll let you know. If it's really not what the show is about, I will tip you in on that. But I do, at this point, have an absolutely terrible feeling about this show.
A feeling of what? You haven't even watched it yet. You can't just make an assumption because you feel something's going to be bad. No. You got to actually give it an opportunity. Sit down and watch the episodes. Then we'll have that conversation. But if you're just going to make assumptions because you did a little bit of research and everything, and who cares? Watch the show and maybe it could surprise you. And the fact that he doesn't even encourage his viewers to go watch it or anything just shows that, hey, you can only listen to me, man. That's basically what he's saying. I remember that when Solo came out, Geeks and Gamers, I was following him at that time, said that, nope, nobody should see Solo. It's SJW crap and everything. And you know what? I was this tiny close of not going to see Solo. Because I almost believed in him. Almost. That is until my sister convinced me to go. And I was like, alright, let's go. Surprise, surprise. The movie was actually pretty damn good. And I was like, what the F was Geeks and Gamers smoking? Because this movie was fucking good. The action was good, the story was good, and the rumor about Lando Calrissian being pansexual in the movie is wrong. Lando Calrissian was as swaggy as he was in Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, so it just proves he was incorrect. If I would have listened to him, I would have missed out on a really good Star Wars movie. But the point is, my friends, just because someone says it's bad, don't think like that. Give it an opportunity. It could surprise you. And if you didn't like it, at least you give it a shot. But you didn't come with questions, doubts, or concerns or anything because a certain creator that you follow, he's all like, "No, I hate it and everything. I'm gonna be all negative and all." Or he has a lot of women or has political ideas and all that mumbo jumbo. No, don't listen to them. You go ahead, watch the movie, TV show, and if you liked it, good for you. And if not, oh well, maybe next time. Too bad. But at least you gave it a shot. And the thing is, Star Wars fans should encourage other fans to go and watch all these other Star Wars movies and TV shows. Despite the story being different, political, even though it's already political in Star Wars, as I mentioned a few minutes back. But the point is that it's about trying something new and different and see if you can like it or not. And then have a civilized conversation about it. Some fans really seriously need to stop saying that Star Wars is dead and that Disney killed it. No. It was also Star Wars fans, some, not all, that also kind of killed it for not only us Star Wars fans, but for many others too who were just barely joining the fandom too as well. So, yeah, we also have to be held accountable too as well. You know, it's not always Disney this, Disney that. No. It's also us too as well, and how we deliver the message to about Star Wars, and which is important too as well, because and people like Doomcock and negative Star Wars fans, some will continue to confusing them and making them believe that everything that Disney takes out is always going to be bad and everything, and it's always leading to the controversies with the actors, what's going on Twitter, on TikTok, on YouTube. And should you really care about all of that, really? Who cares? Give the show a shot, you know? And if you really hate Disney and Star Wars, move on. And trust me, if Disney has to fail, the only way to really make sure that Disney acknowledges us, the fans, is by not talking about it on social media anymore. Make it irrelevant. Stop making videos about it, because it's only going to give them more leverage for them to just continue to torture them and everything. And you know what? Why do that to ourselves, the fans? I already said earlier in my video that we don't need Disney to get content. And the other solution is just to let it go and move forward. It's just that simple, you know? And maybe if Disney becomes irrelevant and it fails, maybe they'll start listening to us, you know? What happened to the whole Boycott Disney thing? Well, that didn't last, you know, until creators start making money and everything, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's the way it has to go. Make Disney Star Wars irrelevant, or maybe the whole thing itself. But at least they'll have to acknowledge us at some point. But it's a never-ending battle, and mark my words, it's going to be 20 years from now, and we're still going to be in this same problem right here. It's already been past 10 years, and it's still the same old stuff. And unfortunately, fans are done, and they think that whatever Disney's taken out of Star Wars is bad. I beg to differ, because I think ever since Disney has held Star Wars in their hands, I felt they have done a really good job with Star Wars. Well, that is, except until they got Rise of Skywalker, however. But, you know, that's just me. For others, they don't like what they're seeing, and unfortunately, that's too bad. Not everything that Disney takes out, everyone's going to enjoy it, but that's just the way it is. And, well, the more speakers speak up too as well, some of them are just going to continue to pander on how terrible the direction Disney has taken Star Wars, which I beg to differ too as well. But negativity is just going to continue to rise up, and people are just going to keep hating Star Wars. It can never be anything positive anymore. And the bad thing about it is that if we talk positive, we're called fake, an outcast. We're going to get crucified, hanged by these gatekeepers, even though they're in denial that they're not gatekeeping, even though they are. But community will still be divided and mad at each other for some reason, even though it's just people who are mad and salty, but that's just a phase. Hopefully they could like Star Wars somewhere around that line and enjoy it as they once have in the beginning. But despite everything I just went over with you guys, the love for Star Wars is still there. And if you don't believe me, You can go ahead and look it up on YouTube. You can go ahead and look up the Comic Cons. You guys can go ahead and see all these creators that are making these short films and movies on these Star Wars characters. I've seen the artwork and it's freaking mind-blowing. The pictures online, they're freaking amazing. I've seen love and investment in the creations the fans do. And at the end, this is what it's all about. It's about showing the expression and love for Star Wars in any way, shape, or form. And when I see people do these great things on social media, it just brings a smile to my face. And I know a lot of you who are watching right now are probably like pretty mind blown by seeing all these pictures right now. And all we can do as fans is to thank George Lucas for making Star Wars, for making us escape from the world that we're in and going to a galaxy far, far away. And to see all these adventures take fold and to be able to grow up with all these beloved characters that we grew up with as a kid. And for the many amazing stories that we got too, not just in movies and TV shows, but in comics, in books, in video games, even the TV shows on Disney Plus too. It's all there. The love and appreciation will always be there, my friends, always. And if anyone says that Star Wars is dead, nope. It's alive if you allow it to. You kind of have to let it in, you know. Set aside all your emotions and feelings you have towards Disney, Star Wars, and everything, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. And you're going to see that everything that you look back the past 5 years, 10 years, maybe in the beginning when you were a kid, when you first introduced to Star Wars, and it doesn't matter in which era you started, you're going to be like, wow, that's a really nice fond memory I have there when I went to see Star Wars with my dad. For me, it was when I saw it with my parents. It was in the living room. My first Star Wars movie was The Phantom Menace, then Attack of the Clones, then Revenge of the Sith, so on and so forth. And then I got myself episode 4, 5, and 6 on Best Buy because I was really anxious to see the continuation of Star Wars. And boom, the rest is history. Going down that Mary Lane road right there, remembering how you love Star Wars for the first time, that's something, my friends, that's never going to go away. But as long as we remember how good Star Wars was, no matter what state it is, whether it's good, bad, so-and-so, the love and appreciation is always going to be there. And if one day for me Star Wars starts becoming irrelevant, boring, dead to me like most Star Wars fans think it is, I'm just going to go back and remember the good times in Star Wars. I'm going to go down back memory road and remember all the good times I had with Star Wars and talk about that, without having to be all negative and sound like a butthurt fan or be part of the butthurt menace or just do the same old shtick that only is going to affect me health-wise and mentally. No, why do that to myself? Why torture me or punish myself thinking that everything's going to be bad? No. I got to have an open mind here, you know? And yeah, I know Disney may not be the best company in the world. It doesn't wear a white hat and everything. It's a good guy. No, I know what it's done. I know. I can care less. I don't care. I stopped caring. I don't need all that negativity in my life and everything. No, I could care less now. All I care about is Star Wars. I want a good story, good characters who I can relate to. Boom. Plain and simple. Because you know what? I actually love what I'm seeing. And like I said, I respect the heck out of you if you do not like the direction Disney is taking Star Wars. But that's every other person. Everyone has a different opinion. But hey, that's just me. And I think I've ranted and talked enough already, so I'm going to wrap up this video by saying, my friends, thank you all for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to the First Order. Our goal is 1,000. We are almost there. I know I've been on a bumpy road lately, but I know I could get to 1,000 eventually. And I appreciate you guys for making it to the end of the video and to listen to me. And like I said, at the end of the day, everyone has their own opinion. You guys can love Star Wars in any way, shape, or form. Just remember to keep in mind that not everything out there is bad. And remember to try to keep a positive mind. And most importantly, my friends, may the Force be with you. Take care.